Morning, Laura. You've got a little bit of water in your usual tea. I have my third cup of coffee this morning. I'm telling you, an espresso was good. So if you've never joined me before, particularly those people over here on the Sage page, my name's Amanda Webb. I am going to talk to you for roughly half an hour about the latest digital marketing and social media news here from the Sage offices. Let's have a look at the whiteboard for today. Here it is. We've got lots of Facebook news as usual. Great news that actually broke yesterday about Facebook groups, which I'm quite excited about. Some Twitter news. We've got some Periscope news. We've got a thing called Super Hearts from Periscope. Who would know? We've got Pinterest and we've got Instagram, and let's not forget where I am, live in the Sage offices in Dublin. And I tell you, everything's a lovely shade of green here. It's very, very pretty. Okay, let's start. Let me grab my notes. Hello people over on the Sage business page. Tell me you're here. Hello Eleanor, I can see you there. Thanks for joining. This is the first time I've ever done two at the same time, and it's really bizarre. Okay, let's start with some Facebook news. And this is a really interesting one for small businesses. Facebook are testing an ad type that lets you promote your 5-star reviews. And this is really good because we know how important customer reviews are. We know that people make decisions about who they're going to buy from when they see reviews. If you follow my podcast, you'll know about the circle of trust. And the last T on the circle of trust is tell others. And those wonderful reviews you have on your Facebook page, you'll have a chance to promote. It looks like you're going to be able to auto-promote them. Don't worry, if you've got any bad reviews, it's not going to promote those. It's only going to promote 4-star reviews and above, which, how cool is that? I think that's brilliant. So this could be a really great tool. Hi Greg, thanks for joining. This could be a really great tool for small businesses coming into the future. I don't have it yet. If you do have it, you do have the option to switch it off. When I say I don't have it, I don't allow reviews on my page, so that's probably why I don't have it. I'd love to know if you've seen it on your page. Are they prompting you to share your 5-star and 4-star reviews? Great ad type. I think it's got loads of potential. That's the most boring bit of news. This is really strange. There's two of me. I'm looking at two of me in two different directions. Hey Megan, thanks for joining. Morning from Newcastle over there. We've got loads of people over on this page. We've got loads of people over on this page. I can see there's 8 people now watching on Sage. Hello, Sage. Do leave me a comment. Let me know who you are. Let me know what your morning tipple is. I've got a cup of coffee. Okay, next is a bit of news from last week. As you all know, I was away in Italy last week, so there was no digital coffee. But one really exciting thing happened on Facebook that I thought I had to cover this week, and that is GIFs in the comments. GIFs in comments. You've used them, you've seen them. Do you love GIFs? Give me a thumbs up if you love GIFs. If you don't love GIFs, I'm sorry, you're going to have to see them in comment streams on Facebook, but you're not going to be able to post them natively yet on Facebook. The really interesting thing was, my first reaction was, well, do GIFs work on page use comments as well? So this is what they look like if you haven't seen them yet. And I'll show you in Sage in a sec. This is what they look like. You do like GIFs. Good, Ema, you do like GIFs. So this is what it looks like at the bottom of your comment screen. You've got a little GIF button. You get that closer to camera so you can see it. This is what it looks like on a personal page. You're the wrong way round, I'm sorry, Sage. And that lets you go into a GIFs library and you can choose a GIF that you want as a reaction. And it's kind of fun. I do like GIFs. I'm always a little bit worried about the copyright thing, but hey, you know, someone else will worry about that for the time being. It's a bit Twitterish. I kind of like it. Now then I thought, does this work on business pages? So I went to a business page, a cat-related business page, and I had a look there. And as you can see, on the desktop, no, there is no option to add GIFs. See here? You love GIFs, do you, Dave? Dave was helping me set up and then he went and hid. So why aren't they there? So then I thought, Well, I'm going to go and look on mobile because maybe they work on mobile, and guess what? They do work on mobile, and guess what? I don't have the screen grab to show you how they work on mobile. On business pages, you cannot add a GIF comment on the desktop, but you can add a GIF comment on mobile. Interesting, huh? And for most businesses that doesn't matter because most of the people who access Facebook are doing it on mobile, so it's not such a bad thing. My customers, not so much. Anyway, if you are able to comment with a GIF on this post, I'd love to see it. So if you have a GIF option there, give me a GIF. Give me a GIF. I'd love to see them. And I think the important thing about this is it's giving other different ways for people to interact with our Facebook business pages without having to write a long comment. So GIFs are just another way for us to get interaction on our business pages. Can only be a good thing. Right, okay, I'm going to ask you a big question here. We're on to Twitter. The new Twitter interface. Yay or nay? Give me a Y for yay, give me an N for no. We do not like the new Twitter interface. I'd love to know what you think before I share my opinion. Do you love it? Or do you not love it? We've got a yay from Ema. We've got a yay from Dave Murphy. We've got a yay from Naomi. We got a yay from me. Okay, I thought I was the only one. I actually really like the new Twitter interface. Now, if you haven't noticed the new Twitter interface, you're very, very naughty because that means you haven't logged into Twitter for a long while. It's a bit Snapchatty. The one person who I spoke to that didn't like it said they thought it was a bit Snapchatty, all that because there's a lot of kind of swiping left and right and up and down that you didn't have to do before. But it kind of makes sense. I think it's a very user-friendly interface, and that's exactly what they say they're trying to do with it. They want to make it easy for new people when they come to Twitter to be able to interact. It's a lot cleaner, I think. When I look at it, there's all that. Whoever that is giving me all the likes, does that mean you love the new interface too? It's cleaner, it's very, very white, so you get, like, I don't know, a lot of white space. It's easier on the eye, I think. What's really cool, have you noticed the real-time interactions? So you'll be looking at a post and you can see as new likes come in, it rolls in. It's kind of like it's so cool. I could actually get totally lost looking at that. The other thing they've done is they've got a, instead of the little arrow for a reply button, they've now got a speech bubble that you can click the speech bubble, and the speech bubble is your reply, which again, more user-friendly, it makes sense. Apparently users had been saying that they thought that that was a delete button or that was a go back button, so people were confused about using that. Fair play Twitter, they seem to be listening to what people want and what they need. Links on iOS load in Safari. Beforehand they'd load in Twitter's own browser. You know, like on Facebook, when you click a link it loads it in Facebook's own browser. Now if you're on an iPhone or an iPad, it will load in Safari. And the benefit of this is you won't need to keep logging into services. You can be logged into your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever, your news sites that you subscribe to on Safari. When you click the link, you won't have to log in again because it will bring you directly in. So that's a real benefit, I think. And round profile pictures. You know what my reaction was? Firstly, love it. Totally, totally love it. My first reaction was, doesn't it look like Instagram? Anyone else? Do you think? Okay, moving on to Instagram, and this is something I was playing with a little bit yesterday. Now, the thing is, let's look at my lovely purple Instagram logo first. Do you like? Do you like my perfect purple Instagram logo? And this is kind of cool. I've never gone live on Instagram before because it wasn't really, you know, I do this every week. I sometimes go live on Twitter when I'm talking about specific things, but I've never really seen why I would need to go live on Instagram. But last night I did for the first time. As I was doing up my whiteboard for this, I went live because there's a new feature. When you finish a live, the thing about Instagram Live, just in case you didn't know, Hey Beatrice! The thing about Instagram Live, in case you didn't know, is that it was disposable. It was only live when you were live. You could download it at the end, but it was only live in that moment. Now, when you finish an Instagram Live, it gives you the option, let me just find it, you can see I got one viewer last night, but it was late at night and I've never done it before. It gives you the option to save it into your Instagram story. See here? And this, initially I thought, well, you know, what if you do a 20-minute live? That's too much for an Instagram story. But in fact, it doesn't go directly into your story. If you look at the top of your Instagram feed, you should still see mine there if you're following me, which is Spiderworking, if you're looking for me. At the top of your feed, you will see a little circle, and if somebody's been live recently, it will say live. And when you click in, you can look at their story, or at the bottom, on the right-hand side, there's a tab where you can watch their latest live. Now, I had one viewer watching me last night, and this morning there have been 2 viewers on the live, although my stories have had quite a few views. So I'm kind of thinking the general Instagram public hasn't really copped onto this yet. It is an interesting development though, because I do feel like you would be wasting your time a little bit if you went live on Instagram and it was gone immediately. Even if you could save it and repurpose it, I think you needed to have it there a little bit longer to get viewers. So I can see this evolving and working quite well. By the way, started doing Instagram stories again yesterday. Is that just another rip-off from Snap? Well, not really, because you can't do like long live videos on Snap, and they have, or Snapchat, and they haven't really said they're ever going to do that. So at the moment we've got a long video format that we can put in our stories, which I think is cool. I think it's quite different to what Snapchat's doing, although I'm sure I do have a rip-off Snapchat feature coming in. Anyway, I've been doing Instagram stories. Do follow me, Spiderworking. Anytime that I'm doing something more interesting than sitting at my desk, I will try and share what I'm doing, and you'll see the run-up to me arriving here today. On to the next bit of news then. Oh, what do we think for that? Thumbs up? Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Give me an angry face if you don't like it. The Instagram thing. Are we going to give it a thumbs up? Or are we going to give it a thumbs down? Do you think Snapchat is in trouble or could be? Absolutely, I think it is. I don't think we've got lots of thumbs ups and one angry face. Lots of thumbs up and an angry face in Sage. Come on, guys. 1 thumbs up. I do think Snapchat's in trouble. I don't think they can possibly compete with a business the size of Facebook, who run Instagram. I also think, you know, they are catching up now, but they were a little bit too late catching up with some of the stuff. They should have anticipated that this sort of thing could happen. It would be quite easy. Obviously, they didn't have any protections in place for their main features, so maybe the technology, maybe the camera company part will work, because I do want those Snap goggles big time. So we're going to give it both, but Sage definitely gave it. No, kids aren't on Facebook, Dave. They're on Instagram, and Facebook owns Instagram. So yeah, absolutely. And so many people are moving over to Instagram. I do think they are in trouble. Oh, and they are. The other thing is, kids are on Facebook. They just don't publish there. They just don't post there. That's another big statistic out there. Okay, so we're giving Instagram a update there. On to next. Oh, do you want to know do you want to know? Sounding here is really weird. Do you want to know the really exciting group news? Not a fan of Snapchat, Eamon. Me neither, but I'm too old. Well, I did love it when I was using it, and now I'm kind of Instagram stories. Does everything it does. I've been on Instagram longer. Instagram makes sense to me, so there you go. Do you want to know the exciting Facebook group news? And I have to show you the Facebook group logo, which got a little bit damaged in transit. Beatrice says she hates Snapchat. It is Snapchat. The company is called Snap. I know it's very confusing. It's still called Snapchat. We sound old when we call it Snap. B says, I hate Snap but love Insta, and Eleanor agrees. Okay, yes. The people on the Spiderworking page really do want to know the group's news. This is good and bad, right? It's absolutely brilliant. They are adding some really cool tools to Facebook groups for admins. And the first one is stats. Stats! Yay! Stats! It's going to be great. You're going to be able to see, without using a third-party tool like Gritix, I think it's called, which is the one for analysing your Facebook group, you're actually going to be able to see the growth of your group, the engagement within your group. Brilliant. We all love stats. We all need to measure the success of our groups. Fantastic. Number 2, if you get a lot of group requests, Dave Murphy, no way, super Snapchat is super Ellie and B, come on. I think we're having a personal row over about whether Snapchat or Instagram is better over on the Sage page. I'm just letting you know. The second one is if you get a lot of group requests, so if you get a lot of people to join, you're actually going to be able to filter them en masse. So, well, that doesn't happen in Facebook groups, and it's kind of more important that it should happen in Facebook groups, because I love that Facebook calls these people bad actors. I'm just going to call them the nasty people you don't want in your group that might go in there and troll or might be rude to people. If you delete them, their comments and content stays, which means what you have to go manually and delete every abusive comment that you got. Eleanor likes this update. Cool. Much better filters on Snapchat, Megan says. We've got 50-50 Snapchat and Instagram going on over in the Sage page. We know where I stand on this, yeah? Okay. Another fantastic and very exciting tool for all businesses in Facebook groups, scheduling. Scheduling! So at the moment I have to schedule kind of the weekly posts that I have. You know, I have specific daily posts that come out at 10 a.m. today, spiderworking.com/group. You'll get a blog comment thread where people will leave a post and you're supposed to comment on somebody else that's left it in the thing. So at the moment I have to use Hootsuite because there's only a couple of tools that actually allow that scheduling. So Hootsuite allows group scheduling. Now I'm going to be able to do it directly within the group. Great stuff, yeah? Really exciting. Am I just ridiculously excited over this? Is anyone else excited over this? Laura, over here, Laura is really excited too. I may be overstating Laura's excitement. And finally, you can link to other groups. It's going to be easy to link to other groups, I guess the same way that you can hyperlink to a Facebook page. Beatrice is excited over here. We have excited on Sage and we have excited on Spiderworking. Yay! But you're going to be able to hyperlink. I imagine that's how they're going to do it within the Facebook groups as well. Now, the one downside with this. The downside with this started when they let us link our business pages to our groups. Because you know what we were telling them when we linked our business pages to our Facebook groups? We were telling them they were business groups, weren't we? Are we suckers or what? Because you know what's going to happen next? They're going to give us all these wonderful tools. It happened with Facebook pages. It's going to happen with groups now. They're going to start putting the algorithm in place, particularly for business groups. So they know we're a business group. It's going to be harder to get seen in the news feed. So big thumbs up for all the updates. Big thumbs down for losing the reach of our groups. Yeah, Clara, I feel exactly the same way. Will I have a sip of coffee? I have 10 minutes left, that's great. Still loads of news to come. Pinterest. Now, we've got lots of sad faces. We've got lots of sad faces. I'd just like to mention, Sage, that Spiderworking is winning on the emoticons. So give us some thumbs up, some hearts, some sad faces, some happy faces. Right, Pinterest, moving on to Pinterest. I hate drawing the Pinterest logo, there it is. But Pinterest for me is one of the most, look, Sage are winning now. Just like to say we've got a whole load of emoticons coming from Sage now. Well done, Sage. Pinterest is one, for me, even though it's not a tool I enjoy using, it has to be one of the most interesting social networks, even though they don't call that, I don't know, internet tools out there. They really are innovating with what they do. And they have just introduced an update to Spiderworking is now going mad with the emojis too. Okay, nobody's giving me emojis now. This is all good. Right, okay. There's a comment here. Still no scheduling on Hootsuite for Instagram. You can schedule on Hootsuite for Instagram, although I recommend you don't use Instagram, you use Agora Pulse. The problem is it's not direct scheduling, so it's not going to go from the desktop onto the app, and that's an Instagram API thing. They don't want you posting directly from a third-party app onto Instagram. That's their thing. I'm sure that's going to update soon. So what both Hootsuite and Agora Pulse, who, disclaimer, they work for, do at the moment is that when you set up a post, it sends a reminder to your phone, it sends the photo to your phone, and it sends the text to your phone, but you actually have to manually put it into Instagram. As soon as Instagram update that API, and I'm sure they will, we're going to get scheduling. Pinterest own search, anytime I search for clothes, Pinterest is the top results. Yes, absolutely, and this is why I love Pinterest. And have you tried Pinterest Lens? Let me just grab this. I've talked about on this live show Pinterest Lens a lot. So basically what you do is, if you're on your phone, it's really easy to access. You just, particularly if you're on a modern version of iOS, you can just hold down your finger on the Pinterest and it opens Lens automatically. Otherwise you do need to go further into the app. And what that does is it opens up an interface where you can shoot a photo of something, just trying to find it here. You can shoot a photo of something and it will find related searches within Pinterest. Very, very cool. Now, that was cool, but they have just updated the lens. So instead of you used to get this little round circle in a white background, now it looks like Snapchat stories, it looks like Instagram stories. It's not a story tool though, it's just giving you more functionality. This is what it looks like now. You see, there's my cat, that's Huxley. Say hello to Huxley. That's Huxley. So I took, and I was going, this isn't going to work because that's not a particularly obvious picture of a cat. So you can see the circle is the area you're trying to get in. You can actually now zoom in, which you weren't able to before. You can hold your finger on the phone to focus on your object. You can now also, you can see at the bottom there, there's, I don't know how well you can see that, but just over here, there's photographs you can upload. So before you had to actually be in the place, but if you take a photo, you can now upload it into Pinterest and say, hey, I want to search for this. And they also give you suggested searches, which are these little things at the bottom. Laura is just pointing out, and Buffer also schedules to Instagram. Now, I took the picture of the cat. This is what always stuns me with how good Pinterest search is. So I grabbed the picture of the cat, and I'm just looking at the results. Maybe not quite so good, but they got the idea it's an animal. I thought it was a cat last night. I'm just going to show stage first so they don't feel left out. You see here? There's my cat. They did identify it was an animal with ears, but they gave me 2 dogs. But still, cats is the first word there. Cats, bird, dogs, puppies. So it's pretty cool. So it'll identify that. Now you may remember that last month they rolled out recipe search. So you can take a picture of your food and they'll try and find a recipe for it. Now they're really pushing on the fashion. So if you took a picture of me like this, you might see that my t-shirt, by the way, comes from another Sage business expert, Joanne Dewberry. You will be able to match that outfit online. Pinterest is going to be able to find it and they're going to send you to outfit ideas that are similar to what you've seen. Love what Pinterest does. Again, it's not my favourite network, but I love their innovation. I think they're a very, very creative company. I am definitely going to run out of time now. I've got 3 minutes left, but I do only, I think, have one story left. Periscope Super Hearts. So Periscope, just in case you didn't know, Periscope is now Periscope and Twitter Live. So if you hook up your Periscope to your Twitter, I always go live via Twitter now. It seems much easier than having to go into Periscope. But Periscope have found a way to reward users. And I love this. So basically, if you watch a lot of Periscope broadcasts, I should actually start doing my digital coffee here because I could make some money out of this. You wouldn't pay for it, would you? No. Okay, so if you watch a lot of Periscope broadcasts, you can actually go and buy packages of what they're calling super hearts. So you go in, let me try and find the photograph now. This is what super hearts look like. It's really hard to see on the screen, but they're especially kind of weird kind of hearts. You can buy different shapes and sizes. There's the hearts there. You can actually see them better on the Sage page. Don't know how well you can see that, but that's what they look like. Now, as a user, you can go in and you can buy these super hearts. Just finding the photo. I've lost the photograph. Okay, but you can buy packages. You can spend up to 99 cents up to $100 on a package of super hearts, and then you can give them to your favourite broadcasters while they're live. So all those emojis you've been giving me, I can monetize those. Once a user gets over $175 worth of super hearts, they can cash them in. Oh, there's the one. That's where they buy the package. See? Oh, hang on. You can just about see that. That's where they buy the package. Once you get $175 worth of super hearts, you can apply to be I think they call it super user on Periscope, and then you can cash them in. I love this because I know there's a lot of bloggers, for example, that put a lot of time into their Periscope broadcast. They've been there for a long time, they get a lot of viewers. Of course they can monetize by working with brands, but this is another way they can monetize, and you know, they don't have to worry about declarations and stuff. It's just their show and a way to pay them for it. Very similar to the Patreon model that you may use on, you most get used on podcasts. I think this is really, really smart. I think it's going to keep people using Periscope because, like I said, why wouldn't I move from Facebook Live that offers me nothing, unless I want to run ads mid-roll if I've got bazillion viewers? Why would I stay on Facebook Live when I could go and do that on Periscope? Apart from, that's where you guys hang out. There, look, Joanne, yes, this is a Joanne Dewberry classic. I think this is a really powerful tool, and I'm hoping we might see Facebook upping their game and seeing if they can offer something similar in the future. Let's see. My time is up. I want to tell you about one thing. Seeing as I'm live on the Sage Business page, and seeing as there's Dave in the background. There's Dave. There's Dave. He's going to come and shut us down in a minute. Before I go, I want to tell you one thing that's going on. I'm running a Sage Biz Meetup in London. A Sage Biz Meetup is when a number of small businesses get together, and there's various types going on around the country. Follow the hashtag Sage Biz Meetup. You're going to have to flip it around for this one. Follow the hashtag, and if you want to come, it's in London on the 19th of July. I'm running it with another Sage business expert called Eamon O'Brien from the Reluctant Speakers Club, and it's all about video. So if you want to do a Facebook Live like this but are terrified, if you just want to create some video for Facebook and you've only got a mobile phone, this is the workshop for you. I'll help you create your video via the mobile phone, and Eamon will help you get comfortable in front of camera. Check out the hashtag. Go to spiderworking.com/go-do-video for more information. Thanks for joining me. If you know anyone that would enjoy this show, please hit the share button. You should see it just underneath, because I'd love to get some more people involved. And from Sage in Ireland, that's the digital coffee.